Second, we'll make sure we are going broadcasting out into the world. We are live. Welcome, Christina. How are you today? Looks like you're on the road. Tell me about it.
I am. I'm on the road, getting ready. Little prep work and, streaming live from the road.
Right on. Cool. Well, today, first Traffic Tuesday, we're going to kick it off with a bang. Welcome everybody who is joining the show here today. Six Figure Store Secrets Show. Every Tuesday we're at 11 o'clock Pacific, 2 o'clock Eastern. We're going to be chatting about traffic for your store, whether that's traffic from Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Google. And today, in our inaugural kickoff show, we're just going to start at the beginning. Let's chat Facebook Pixel, and we're going to chat audiences, and we're going to chat cold audiences and warm audiences. I think that's a great place to start. I think that people really struggle with audiences, understanding what is a cold audience, what is a warm audience. And also, I know for me, when I really learned the power of the pixel and I learned how I could segment out my audiences and put them in different buckets that I could market to, a big light bulb moment went off for me. How about you, Christina? What do you think?
Yeah, I agree, but some people we may be speaking Chinese to already.
Yep.
Okay, so if you have a Shopify store and you're like, how do I get people to find my store, right? How do they know you exist? And we're going to go over some of that and just what Aaron already shared. We're going to, share with you a few steps, right, of how to get people to find your store. So I think it's important. Let's start with one part, Aaron. Let's talk about, you mentioned cold audiences. You mentioned pixels. What does that mean to somebody who just set up their store and they don't know what to do next?
Well, the beautiful thing about Shopify is they've made it exceptionally easy to integrate the Facebook Pixel and the Facebook Business Manager in with your store. So within just a couple clicks, it's very simple to integrate that quote unquote pixel into your store. But yeah, what is the pixel?
Right. Like what is the pixel, right?
Right.
People like, doesn't mean anything to me. So
Yes.
I like to share, maybe you use this too, Aaron. Remember like when you go and search for something on Amazon and let's say it's a pair of shoes. And no matter where you go on the internet later that day, those shoes follow you. Everywhere. Like, how do they know I like those shoes? That's because you were pixeled.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I want to explain pixel further, but I just wanted to share, like, what is the most common way that people see that happening?
Right. Yeah. We've all had that experience. All of a sudden, an ad follows you around from your computer to your phone to your tablet to your email to all of a sudden it's just saturated your very being. and that truly is the capability and the power that lies within the snippet of code, the JavaScript snippet of code that is the Facebook Pixel. And what that allows a store owner to do is when someone visits your store and that pixel is installed on your store, what Facebook is doing is it's capturing the user behavior and how a user engages on your store, the things that they are viewing. And what's really cool about Shopify is because of its integration with Facebook and with the easy integration with the pixel, it knows the products that user is viewing. It knows how long that person has stayed on viewing that particular product. It knows other products that they have viewed on your store. It collects the data of, did they click on a button in your store? Did they view a specific collection? Did they add a product to the cart? Did they add a product to the cart, initiate checkout, like they were going to put their credit card information in, but then didn't purchase? Did they go all the way through purchase? And Facebook collects that data. And so what's really cool is from a marketer, from a store owner's standpoint, is Facebook is doing a lot of the heavy lifting behind the scenes of getting to know my audience, who's engaging with my content, how that user engagement is resulting in conversions, and ultimately who that person is that we want to, who that person is that is taking the actions that are most valuable to us. Ultimately, that being the purchase, right?
Mhm.
And so what's absolutely powerful and incredible is all the things that the quote unquote the pixel does, all of the code behind the scenes, to get to know our audience, so that we can market to them in a more efficient manner.
That's great. I mean, because I know years ago, just getting that pixel to work into Fire was actually a lot of extra work. Now with the use of Shopify, etc., it makes it that much simpler. So it's like, okay, let's add the pixel.
Right.
Not like, oh my gosh, I've got to remember these 3 pieces of code, insert a special line. So it's really simplified, making it easy for you, if you're a novice, to track and find, people that have visited your store, and to make, whether it's another offer, invite them back, just understand the behavior of it, just like you said, Aaron, that it really does do a lot of the heavy lifting. And I think as you get more comfortable using it, understanding how to see the behind the scenes work of it, that you become that much more of a skilled shop owner, which means long term, you're going to make more money.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
Because you're going to know the behaviors, you're going to know what people are interested in, etc. And then in a very basic way.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And just to kind of layer on your point there, yeah, once upon a time it was, especially for an e-commerce store, to install that pixel, and to get all of those tracking conversion events firing the right way, whether that's they viewed a page, they added to cart, they initiated checkout, and they purchased. And once upon a time, it was very difficult to do that. And Shopify and the integration with Facebook has made it just set up an account and click your way through that complete integration, and all of those user behaviors become automatically recorded within Business Manager of Facebook. So it's important as a store owner to go create your Business Manager within Facebook and download the Shopify app or the Facebook app within Shopify, and make that connection. Even if you're unfamiliar with how it all works in the back end, make that connection so that your store is beginning to record that data, or Facebook is beginning to record that data for your store.
Yep, very important.
Yeah, very, very, very important. And also layering in on what you were saying is, when we're setting up an ad on Facebook, or we're outreach and we have new customers that are coming to our store, they don't know us, they don't have any idea about our business, about our brand. They're cold. They're completely cold to us. It's a cold audience. Now, how do we warm them up? How do we get in front of them? How do we continue to get in front of them until they wind up taking an action that is valuable to us, ultimately a purchase, or maybe landing on an email list? And so going from cold to warm to hot are those various audiences that we're able to create based on the data that the pixel is collecting.
Mm-hmm. So cold audience, in case you're not quite sure what we're talking about yet, is people that don't even know you, right? You put your store up, people don't even know you, they don't know what you're about, etc., right? Once they start to get to know you, know, like, and trust you, they become a warmer audience, which means they're more likely to purchase. Okay. Once they get even more information about you, maybe they get into your email sequence, maybe they buy from you, maybe they heard about you from a friend, then that turns that audience into a hot audience. Okay. So just to clarify and to help build, like, that's what those 3 parts mean. And to be a successful shop owner, you need to know how to work each of those audiences. Because what that means is the better you get, the hotter your audience, more people will buy, more people will repeat buy. And essentially, like we talk about in digital marketing, that know, like, trust factor. People will buy from you if they know, like, and trust you.
Mm-hmm.
Right, Aaron?
Yep.
And so it's important to know the distinguish between the difference, because there's different ways you approach it. Right, Aaron?
Mm-hmm.
Don't know you, people that kind of know you, starting to get warmed up, and then people that absolutely know you, bought you, referred to you, etc.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And that leads back to your story earlier about you visited Amazon, you're looking at some shoes, and then all of a sudden, all of your phone, your tablet, everywhere you go, there is that ad again for those shoes. Because guess what? Amazon knows that only a very, very, very small percentage of those people that first land on that product, typically less than 3%, only 3 people out of 100 are actually going to typically purchase that product the very first time they're on that page.
That's a very little percentage.
That's a very little percentage.
It's like
And
cast that net wider, right? We want to cast that net wider to get more people into your store, into your shop.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you've got to get back in front of the people that land on your page and do not take action initially. It's very important.
Mm-hmm.
Very important to do that, to have your Facebook audiences set up using the pixel so that then you can retarget those people who have landed on your products. Mm-hmm. I think next week what we should probably do is open up our business manager and walk through 1, the pixel, 2, the audiences, and 3, how to actually go about. We'll start talking about how to actually go about doing this from a technical standpoint, what this all really means, because it's a little tough to wrap your head around to actually okay, great, that all sounds fun and dandy. Yes, I know now that I can market to these people, get them to my page. I know I need to get back in front of them, but what do I do? And so I think what we'll do is we'll open up next week Business Manager, show you those audiences, and show everybody out there really how to take advantage of just how to do this.
Yes, and I mean, it's so important. There's so many little pieces to know to really make your Shopify store become a rising star. Mm-hmm. And we want to make sure that we share these helpful hints and tips that can help you move in that direction. Okay. And I also like to remind people to just another way. You know how you visited some store online, you put something in the cart, and then you abandoned the cart. You went and you got distracted, you had to go into work, you got a phone call, and then you get a little message later like, did you forget? Did you forget you still have this in your cart? That's another way that you are pixeled.
Mm-hmm.
To share with you again, like, there's lots of ways, and it is so integrated now in our daily life that we don't always realize it. So if you think about it, like, what are ways that, a website you visited, whether it's Shopify or not, how you've been retargeted later? Was it on Facebook? Was it in an email? Was it a text message? There's so many different ways now. I really want you to pay attention and really start to notice. Be like, Oh, that's what it is. Oh, I was pixeled. Ah, they got me. They got me. Oh my God, they know I like those Ugg boots. Like, damn it. Yeah, so I mean, just think about that. It's also a great idea if you're trying to give your significant other like hints. Search on their phone what you think. Little Valentine's Day tip. Search on your significant other's phone what you like, and you know what? It's going to come up in their feed, whether it's Facebook, etc. Sorry, I just had to share. Had to share. It'd be valuable to anybody listening.
Right. That's a great point. Conversely, or on the other end of the spectrum, if you're trying to hide gifting from others, you better watch out what device you're searching from. Because yes, you will be retargeted many times. If you're trying to keep your Valentine's gift a secret, maybe just keep it to your phone. And oh my goodness, get this. So of course, there's also if they'll pixel you. This is going a little off the deep end here, but this is an interesting story. If I'm on the same network, my wife in the other room, and we're both on our phones, and maybe I search something here, but we're on the same IP address, even ads can be served to that IP address, and she might see some ads. Now, this has happened in the past, just not it's going to happen to anybody here watching, but I'm just warning you that is a possibility. Anyways.
If you're planning a big surprise, be careful where you're searching on your phone.
Yes.
Your device of preference.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I mean, I just want to make sure people understand and comprehend that, because in the beginning, when you say pixel, like, just kind of goes over people's head, and it's like, okay, what is the reality? Well, how do people really see that and experience that? And the stronger you get at your skills in running your Shopify store, that's just going to translate to more dollars down the road, which means more profit. And we're all here to profit.
Yeah, exactly. If there's one bit of information I think that would be crucial to take away from this particular conversation and to increase your store's profits is just an understanding of those audiences, understanding, know, like, and trust that a majority of people aren't going to buy right up front, and that the pixel allows you to create those audiences of cold, that they're just getting to know you, to warm, they're now seeing more and more of your content, to hot, they're purchased or about to purchase or post-purchase. And how the pixel allows you to more or less put people in those specific buckets. So then you can speak to that bucket of people. When I started to consider the pixel in terms of, all it's doing is just putting people in specific buckets. And this bucket of people here, okay, they only saw my website once. Well, now I'm going to speak to them in one certain way, or I'm going to offer them something in a certain way. Well, this bucket of people over here, they almost bought. They were about to check out. Well, I'm going to speak to them a little bit differently than those people that didn't quite get that far. And then post-purchase, well, there's another bucket of people that I have an opportunity to maybe present a different offer to, or a different product to, or maybe I can speak to them about my brand. Maybe I can speak to them about a story. Maybe I can invite them to do other things with my brand. So in turn, when I think of the pixel, now I just think of, all right, well, it gives me an opportunity to segment people and put those people into different buckets. And then I can talk to those specific individual people in those buckets now that I know the actions that they've taken.
Mm-hmm. So anybody watching today, we want them to take what steps next?
So next steps, definitely for if you have a Shopify store, make sure that you're integrated in properly with your business manager, that you have downloaded the Facebook app within your Shopify apps in your Shopify store. Connect that business manager. So go to business.facebook.com, create your Facebook pixel, create your business page if you haven't already, download the Facebook app for your Shopify store, and then within there, it'll walk you through making that connection to the business manager that you've set up. And that will at least get your pixel integrated. And you really don't have to do, there's not a whole lot of technical things that you have to understand at that point, because Shopify and Facebook have made it exceptionally easy. Once you've done that, then the pixel is recording data, it's recording user behavior and engagement and all sorts of how deep down the rabbit hole do you really want to go. But it starts to record all those important events so that you understand what people are doing, and then how can I market to those people. And I think that is, those are where we can start with this video here, and then in subsequent videos and next Traffic Tuesday and the following, we can go into how to take that installation and actually put it to use.
Definitely. And those 2 to 3 steps actually create that bridge, right? Creates the bridge between Facebook, Shopify, and the user behavior. Start tracking.
Exactly. That's exactly right, Christina. I think we'll leave it at that for now. I don't want any eyes to glaze over any more than they already have.
If you don't have your reading glasses and need some, I wear mine all the time now. I recommend reading glasses. There's a lot to look at, when you're on your computer, to keep your eyes relaxed too from the glare. So just a reminder to take care of you too if you're spending a lot of hours behind your computer screen right now, working from home, etc.
Yeah, good point. Good point there. That's true, because the eyes, oh man, got to take care of them as I rub mine. If anybody out there is watching has any questions, go ahead and drop them in the comment box. We're here also to help answer any questions. If you have any questions about the pixel or audiences or anything, maybe you're well beyond this and you have any questions about ad copy, direct response marketing, anything in that capacity, we'll hang out here for another couple minutes and answer any questions that you have. It's also Ask Me Anything. We're just kind of taking it from the foundational level here on our kickoff video, and then we're going to build upon it as the weeks go by. So we'll give it a couple minutes. If Andrew, Tiffany, or John, you guys have any questions out there, anybody else watching, or if you're watching in the future, and go ahead and drop a comment below, and we'll go ahead and get that answered for you as well. And so you are on the road here, Christina. You're
I'm on the road, and so a little practice from the road here of being digital on the road. So all good things. Everything's checking out, connected to the phone, connected to the Wi-Fi.
Right on.
Can work from anywhere.
That's right. Yeah, that's the beautiful thing about this business.
Mm-hmm. So, we're checking it out. And just a reminder, any question's a great question, okay? If you're nervous because you're a novice, your question could help somebody else. So just a reminder of that. I also do want to point out we do have Carrie coming on next week, where we are actually going to help her set up her Shopify store. We're going to do it live. We'll announce it later. But if you're just kind of curious, like what actually has to happen, tune in, watch for our alerts, and we'll tell you when we're going live with that.
Good call. Oh, man, I'm looking forward to that. That's right. We're going to wind up taking her store from 0 to 100. Let's do it. Oh, we did get a question. Andrew, what's up, my man? Is there a way to refine where my pixel fires off on? Refine as far as, so the pixel's integration with Shopify, it will begin to record all sorts of events. It's just a matter of how you specify within audiences. So go back to businessmanager.com, business.facebook.com, business manager. And then on the top left, you'll see a the 3 dots or 9 dots, 3 by 3, and you can click on that and then open up your audiences. And so within audiences, you can go in there and specify more or less what is the person doing that I want to record, right? What engagement are they taking? What action are they taking? And so the Pixel's already recording all sorts of things, but you need to go back into Facebook audiences or your business manager audiences and actually tell it to create that audience so those people go into that bucket.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not necessary. There you go, Andrea. Hopefully that makes sense. Let me know if you have any questions about that. And yeah, so the people's already recording all of that data, but you have to go in there and more or less create the audience for those people to be put into that segment. And then you can use that segment as a custom audience when you're creating your ad set. So, and these are all things that we'll go over in future videos.
Eyes could be glazing over. Don't worry. Don't worry. I'll help you.
Cool. Yeah. And Andrew, reach out to me on Messenger as well if you have any questions about that, setting up that audience, or then subsequently using that audience as a custom audience. And then in your ad set. And then if you're creating those audiences, then you can create lookalike audiences and all sorts of cool stuff you can start to do with those buckets of people that you've created and then market to.
Correct. And, we're talking the basics today of the different buckets. Of course, there are advanced type features that we'll talk about probably later, just to let you know too. So there's many levels within the custom audience level. As Aaron was going to share.
Yes. We'll dig very deep into the nitty gritty for sure.
Yes.
And so, yeah, if anybody has any questions, live here now, go ahead and submit some more, or we'll hop off. And then if you have any questions and you're watching later, drop a comment and we'll be happy to answer them there. Right on, Andrew. Yeah, reach out anytime. And Christina, travel safe.
You got it. And if you haven't joined our Facebook group yet, where are they going, Aaron?
They can go to Six Figure Secrets Facebook group. Yes. Facebook.com/ or go ahead.
I was just going to have you, why don't you share the link in the comments below our live video so people know? We're going to be opening that this week.
Yes.
Six Figure Secrets, but we'll give you the exact address because I think we may have an extra number in there. Make sure that you all can find it. So yeah, so if you don't see it right now immediately, you'll see it in the next 5 minutes. Okay?
Here we
Stand
go.
by. We look forward to seeing you in the group. Just a reminder, we are going live Tuesdays and Thursdays, 2 p.m. Eastern. I'm in the Eastern time zone. Aaron's in Pacific time. So you know.
Yep, we'll be going, 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern on Thursday for Trending Thursdays.
Yep, Trending Thursdays.
All right, cool, Christina. I dropped that link for the group. It should be proliferating now.
Awesome. Well, we look forward to seeing you all in the group. We look forward to seeing you on our next live. We look forward to just answering any questions you have. Okay?
Good deal. Thank you, Christina. Travel safe, okay?
And you too. Careful of that animal you have behind your head.